Welcome to The Razor's Edge. This is Hutch, and in this interview I chat with fellow South Walian Tristan Thomas, guitarist and vocalist with Merthyr three-piece Florence Black. They've been building a big fan base over the past 6 years, and with their debut album out in September, it was high time we found out a bit more about them. Thanks for joining us tonight and on this moist and hot summer's evening in South Wales.
I know, it's too hot for me. It's too hot.
Yeah, it's a bit. I'm sat in my little office, which is more like a sauna. So if you see the moisture on my head, don't worry about it.
Same for me, but same.
So Florence Black, obviously three-piece from Merthyr Tydfil, not that far away from me. I'm down on the edge of Newport.
Nice.
So let's start off with the back of the beginning, Tris, because obviously you're making a name for yourself now, but you've been around about 5 years, is that right?
Well, as an originals band, about 5 years, but we started off doing like covers in pubs and clubs.
Yeah.
For about 3 years, getting used to the live circuit and stuff, and then we was just like, right, we got to flick it to originals now. Now's the time. We would like slip in a couple of originals into our cover set, and people would be like, "Oh, what was our song?" And then we'd be like, "That was our own song." So we were like, "Come on, boys, let's do it."
And obviously, the South Wales scene is very much a big hotbed for hard rock in particular, but metal in general. Obviously, the valleys are crawling with boys that love their metal and stuff. So, for you guys and for you in particular, who were the early influences when you were getting into the music scene?
Well, a big band for us was an old band, Budgie. You know Budgie?
Yeah, I know Budgie. Yeah.
Because we done the we do a cover of Bread Fan, don't we? Like, and I used to play in a band with the original drummer Ray Phillips, as the Ray Phillips Budgie. Yeah, and we used to play all Budgie songs. We used to do some Led Zeppelin songs, all older stuff. Like, so it was really the older stuff that influenced us the most. Like, yeah. But as we grew older, then we got into the newer stuff and the more heavier stuff. Yeah, and then it's just like that's where it come from. Like Budgie, I'd say.
I think Budgie are one of the most underrated bands of all time. Certainly. Yeah. I mean, I think they're quite well known in South Wales, and of course. Metallica did them a lot of favors with the cover. I mean, so many people didn't know it was a cover version, did they, to start with?
No. Well, a couple of bands did, didn't they? Judas Priest done one as well.
Yeah.
I think Iron Maiden might have done one as well.
Yeah. I think you're right. So what was it like playing with Ray? Because he's a bit of a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, he was wicked. He whipped me into shape, he did, with my musicality, like the tightness. We used to practice. We used to go to this practice room like 7 o'clock in the morning and practice all day. Do you know what I mean? Getting things tight. And he just taught me a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah. By the time he got with you, he's been around the world a few times, hasn't he? Yeah, just a bit. Like, yeah. So you play guitar and you sing, which is quite a challenge for any musician, but certainly obviously lead guitar and stuff as well. Is that how did that come about that you ended up doing both? Are the other two just bone idle, or are you? Well, back in the day when we done cover songs, we were all in different cover bands, like to start. Yeah. And I was just playing guitar, like doing a bit of backing, singing. And then once we finally met, then as a band, I was just like, I'll just sing. It's just easier, like doing. So that's how it started. I was doing backing, singing, and I was like, I can do this. Like, it's not bad. Yeah, give it a go now. So, yeah,
brilliant.
That's it. Like,
and obviously, as Florence Black, you were gigging relatively quickly because you obviously had that experience of playing live in the other bands. I assume, was it?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of experience from the cover bands and the pubs and club circuit, like. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we get the experience from, and it plays a part. Like, it shows, I think. Yeah.
And obviously you had some quite big gigs early on because you played Bloodstock, obviously a year after you formed as Florence Black, which must have been quite an interesting event so early on in your formative career, if you like.
Yeah, because we used to just send emails to any festivals and stuff, but we sent one to Bloodstock thinking we weren't going to get a slot because it's quite a really heavy festival. Bloodstock is like,
yeah.
We weren't expecting a slot, and then they got back to us and like, yeah, we got a slot to you on the Sophie Lancaster stage. Like we were like, come on, man, let's do it. Because you got the New Blood stage as well, haven't you? Which is like they do like a metal to the masses sort of like battle the band sort of thing. Like and we just skipped that, and we was like, fucking hell, this is great.
Well, I remember watching you because I go to Bloodstock every year. I remember watching you in that tent, and there was a good number there watching you.
Yeah, it was fucking great turnout. Like we was well happy with it.
Yeah,
it good.
And did you have the whole weekend there, or did you just go up for the gig and come back?
Yeah, I think we done 2 days. I think.
Yeah.
Because Megadeth were there, I think, weren't they? And Ghost. Yeah, we seen them. That was awesome. Fair play.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you've got Mike from Bullet on board as your manager, if I'm right in that.
Yeah.
And so how did that come about with Padge? How did he get involved with you?
Well, he came to see us in Bridgend in Hobos. We played with the Virgin Marys, and he came to see us, and he walked in the room, and he was like, "Fuck, Padge is there, boys. We hadn't met him before, like." And then we finished the set. We walked over. He was like, what's happening, Padge? It was just like speaking to one of us. Like, it was fucking, we got on great straight away. And we just knew we were going to be friends. Yeah. And we just started speaking all the time. And then we ended up going down his house and jamming and just got good friends with him. And then one day we was on tour, and I texted him. I was like, Padge, do you want to manage us or just try and sort us out a bit, like get us some contacts and stuff, because he's a man, like. And he was like, I don't know, boys. I don't know if I can do that. Like, but a couple of months down the line, then him and Jen, they said, "Fuck it, boys. We'll give it a go." And that was that. Like, and here we are today, going well.
Yeah, sure. So what does he actually do for you? Is it the links that he's got that's the main thing? The contacts?
Yeah, well, that's another thing. He got the experience as well, see, because he's been through it all. Do you know what I mean? And he's got the contacts. And he just knows the right and wrong moves, like, do you know what I mean? So that's why we wanted him on board. It was like, it just makes sense, like, show us the way, you know what I mean?
And you know where he lives now, so he can't bloody run away from you.
Can he, fuck?
So you've done well with the old the Welsh rock stars, because of course you've had old Benji on one of your tracks, haven't you? Was it your last EP? I think on the final one he was on Gunshot.
Yeah, that was wicked. We asked him to come down. Yeah, I think chuck me some money, boys. I'll come and fucking do it. He's fucking wicked, Benj. But yeah, we done our track with Jeff Rose. He was the original guitarist. Yeah. For Skin Red. Yeah. And he got a little studio. That's what we done the EP with. And he was like, okay, we got Benj, And then we actually met him up with him in Bloodstock. Yeah. And that's where we asked him, like, he was like, do you want to do a song with us? He's like, fucking right, boys. Let's fucking give it a go, like. He was like, fucking right. So we wrote the song, and then we just left his part blank. We was like, we'll just bring him in the studio, and he just come in and just sang it off the top of his head. It was fucking mental, it was. Yeah, I could just picture that. Yeah. He's a great guy, is Benji. Yeah. He's a star. You've got your album coming out. We'll talk about that a little bit in a second, but I've looked at the way that you've released stuff. You've released something virtually every year that you've been together, because you had the 3 EPs and then the 2 singles, and now you've got the new single and the next one coming out. Yeah. Is it, for a band of your size, easier to do it in smaller bursts? Is it more cost effective to do EPs than wait for the big album? Is that part of the reason why you've done it like that? Yeah, with the time now, like, I think it's better to just keep releasing music more frequently instead of just putting something out and waiting 4 years and then something else. Like, but we wanted to release an album years ago, but we were just like, let's wait till we build a fan base first. Yeah. Get some fans behind us, and we think now is the right time. Like, so yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it's cost effective. Like, it's worked out great. Like, and now's the time, I think. I was talking to a band from Stoke. I don't know if you've heard of them, a band called Balls Deep, and they've just released
the first part of a 3-part album. They're doing it in like small chunks.
Yeah.
Like 25 minutes a piece, if you like. And they've said the reason they're doing that is because it keeps people interested. It gives them new music all the time. And obviously it's cheaper to record as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's different these days, like, you know, like with the internet and stuff, you just got to keep active and keep putting stuff out there, like.
Sure. So obviously this year you've got Can You Feel It? That's come out about a month or so, middle of May, was it? Something like that around then?
Yeah, about a month ago, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's flying, isn't it? I mean, it's hit top 100 downloads. It's got over 100,000 listens on Spotify. Must be pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, that's the first time we've entered the official chart, like.
Yeah.
So that was great. I think we hit number 3 in the rock iTunes rock chart with it. And I think it got to like 26 in the old genre chart as well, which is cool. It was like, fucking hell, guys. That's great. Well, shocked, like.
That's brilliant. So well done on that, because it's a cracking track as well. Really enjoyed listening to that this week.
Nice one.
And then you've got the next single coming out next month, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be the 23rd of July. That is
right. So that will be that's the next single, and that's obviously the lead in now to the album that I think you've already recorded, haven't you?
Yeah, all that's recorded with Ramesh down in Cardiff.
Yeah.
We had that with the PRS Momentum Fund. Like, luckily we had that, which helped us out a lot with the funding. Like, so yeah. So I think we're going to release the pre-orders for the album as well next month with the single. So it's very exciting.
Brilliant. And when's the album actually planned to be released?
It's planned for September.
Brilliant. So fingers crossed that'll link in with some of your live, because you've got that tour with Ossack, isn't it? Or whoever they're called.
Yeah, Bocassa, innit?
Bocassa, that's it, right, yeah. So that'll link in with that. That'll be, hopefully by the autumn, there might be some indoor gigs. Fuck knows.
Yeah, I know. Fingers crossed, innit? Fucking hell.
So you've mentioned that you work with Ramesh, who's a well-known producer down in these parts. He's done quite a lot of bands that I know. He's done the King Kraken Boys EP, and he did the Agrona stuff and various other bits and pieces. So what was it like working with him?
It was awesome. We done the first EP with him back in 2016.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wicked. Like, we was only in there for a short time, but this time it was good. Like, we had a lot of time to work with him and work stuff out and arrangements. He didn't have much say in like the songs, because we've had so long producing these songs and writing these songs that we know exactly what we want with them. Like,
yeah.
But he had little parts here and there, and the biggest thing is the sound of the album. Like, that's why we wanted to go with Ramesh.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but it was wicked working with him. He's wicked, like, top dog.
He's a well-known, well-regarded guy. Everyone I've spoken to says that he's really easy to work with as well, but he knows what he's doing. So that's what you want, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the detail on the album? How many tracks is it?
There's 10 tracks.
Yeah.
2 singles going to be released before it, and then we're just going to smash it out there, and hopefully it does well, like.
Indeed, I'm sure it will, because the fan base is built quite considerably. I've noticed on your social media, there's a lot of interest in the singles, and a lot of people like it, commenting, which is the way of the world these days, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going well. It's really exciting.
So you've managed all that during the dreaded pandemic, and managed to get through it all, which is kudos to you guys, because I know that there's several bands that haven't even made it out the other end. So must be good recognition on the fact that the three of you obviously have a bond as well, that you can keep going.
Yeah, that's the main thing with our band, I think, is that we're just best friends. Like there's a lot of bands out there which they don't really know each other. They come and meet up, and it's just not the same vibe. Like,
sure,
that's the thing I love about our band, is we're good brothers. Like,
yeah, it certainly helps when you're stuck in sweaty vans and God knows what else, I'm sure. So,
oh yeah, we've been in all sorts of situations. We have.
I was going to ask you about that next. So obviously you've had some decent support slots. You did a shows with Stone Sour and with Reef and those damn Crows, who are obviously the Welsh stars at the moment. They're really in the ascendancy. So, what was it like with those guys, with Stone Sour and with Reef and that? Because they're fairly big names, aren't they?
Yeah, the Stone Sour shows were unreal. Like it was out in France. He asked us to play with them in the Bataclan. That it was mad being there. Like where the shootings happened. Like that was surreal. Anyway, and then the fact we got to play with Corey Taylor, like it was crazy. But yeah, it was awesome. He had time. He spoke to us and it was great. And after that show, we drove straight to France. And from that, we had a headline show in Scotland. Sorry, not France.
Yeah,
we drove straight to Scotland then. After that gig for an headline show, and we turned up, and we literally turned up with fucking 2 hours to go, and we fell asleep for fucking up. We had 30 minutes before stage. The guy come waking us up like, like, boys, you got to go on stage. Yeah, fucking hell, we only just got
God. Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking mental.
So Corey was all right, was he? Decent guy?
Yeah, because when we went to Switzerland, then that was the second show we done with them then, and then we had food with them all and.
Yeah,
it was really good. Like it was a dream come true. Like it was a taste of what a big time it is. Like
sure.
Yeah.
So you're obviously you get on well with the Crows as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we big buddies with the Crows. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that because obviously you're on the Chepstow Castle bill next year, so which should be another cracking day out because it's a great venue for that.
Yeah, there's a great lineup as well, isn't there? Mason Hill boys from Scotland.
Yeah.
Tribeless.
Yeah.
And the new band, James and the Cold Gun, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty new on the scene. But I think he's the bass player from Holding Absence, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And they're doing really well at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, really well. That new album's wicked. Yeah. I love that.
Brilliant. So tell me about when you were playing, obviously, with like Stone Sour. Did you approach the support slot any differently in terms of how you went out and played to how you would have with a headline set?
No, I think we approach every gig the same, really, no matter if it's 2 people there or 20,000. Like we were always 100% into every show. Like
yeah.
But yeah, there was something different about our show. It was like, fucking hell, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like
yeah. And what was the reception like? Was it good?
Oh yeah, it was wicked. They loved it.
Yeah,
we made loads of new fans in France, like, and Switzerland. It was fucking awesome.
Brilliant. Yeah. So I was looking. We talked about very briefly about Chepstow Castle, but obviously this year the next gig I'm assuming that is coming up is obviously the Steelhouse show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Have you got any? Is that the first time you've played at Steelhouse?
No, it'll be the third.
Third, is it? Right.
Yeah, we played in 2015, 2017.
Right.
And this will be the third time. Like.
Right. So you're very familiar. You'll be familiar with just about everything there because it's hardly a stone's throw away from you guys, is it?
Yeah, it's great. It's just over the mountain, like.
Yeah. Yeah. So will that be the first gig since lockdown, or have you had managed to get anything in before that?
That'll be the first live show back. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Wow.
Can't wait for it. Like, yeah. And it's just been given the go ahead, like it's 100% on as well. So
yeah, I saw that this week. That's brilliant. That I think they've, for all that I'm not a huge fan of how the Welsh Assembly have handled a lot of this, I think they've given them quite a lot of support and kept it going. So I can't wait to get up there, to be honest. So
it's going to be wicked, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, the weather will always be like it always is up there, but it won't make any difference, will it, to be honest? A few beers, you don't care.
Nah, get the beers down here, it don't fucking matter.
Brilliant. So,
right.
Will you be up there for the weekend, or will you just go up for the show?
Hopefully the weekend, like, or definitely the Saturday and Sunday anyway.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go up and we're playing on the Saturday, and then we'll definitely come for the Sunday and for the party, like.
Aye, magic.
Yeah.
So, when you played before, were you in a similar slot? Because you're about third on the bill, is that right? Or have they not running order yet?
I think we were third from the bottom last time, but there's some big bands on, so I mean, we understand, like, so it is right. The lineup is right, like, so Yeah, we're happy with that slot. One day we'll headline it. Mark my words.
I don't doubt it, buddy. I don't doubt it. I mean, the good thing about Steelhouse is you always get a good slot anyway. You normally get about 40 minutes, don't you? So
yeah. Any slot is good, isn't it? Up that mountain, they're all down the front for every band. It's wicked, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting change. The changes that have been forced on them. I mean, it would have been quite interesting to have seen Anthrax there. I think that would have really been an interesting day, but
yeah, it's a shame, innit?
It is.
They got to cancel, like.
Yeah, especially on their 40th year, because it would have just been a bit different, wouldn't it? But we're lucky it's going ahead, I think. So I'm not going to knock it.
Yeah, no.
If you don't like a band, there's a beer tent, isn't there?
Yeah, fucking right. That's what it's for, isn't it?
Exactly. So then you've got the Bacassa tour, which takes in Europe and the UK as well. So that sounds like that's going to be a good trip. Yeah,
we're looking forward to that one because they done a stadium tour with Metallica, I think, Bacassa.
Yeah.
So they probably got a great following. Like, it's going to be great shows, and so it'll be our first tour back. Like, so, and the album will be out, so we can play all the songs off the album, and it's really good.
And then plans for next year, you've obviously got the Chepstow Castle gig, but I noticed that there's quite a lot of there's like the New Wave of Classic Rock Festival that you're doing and various others. I think the Call of the Wild has been pushed back as well. So busy times. Yeah,
there's loads of gigs that's been rescheduled. Like, I've lost track. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, to be honest. But yeah, there's loads of gigs lined up for next year. And I think our headline tour will be around February time as well. I think we're going to squeeze in a hometown show this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
To play the album, like, and then a UK tour then headline beginning of 2022.
Brilliant. So people will have time to get used to the album and know the songs and everything else. That'll be brilliant.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Great. It's all looking rosy, which is great considering where we were 6 months ago. Where didn't know where the hell we were. So
I know. It's looking good. Just fingers crossed now that it all goes ahead. Like.
Yeah, well, Wales, to be fair, I mean, I don't want to be smug about us being Welsh considering what happened last night at Wembley, but at least we're keeping the infections down, so that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I
know.
Banging.
I know. It's crazy, with football. Like, they got like 60,000 capacity, and then the shows, you can't even have an indoor show, like one outdoor show.
I know. It's absolutely mad. I don't understand it myself, but there we are. I'm not getting into that. That's a disastrous conversation.
Back to the politics. Yeah.
So before we finish, let me give you a couple of quick fire questions that I asked quite a few other people, because these are just kind of general stuff. They're just a little bit of interest. So tell me the first album you can remember buying.
The first album, I bought two of them. It was a Coldplay album.
Right, okay.
And the Noel Gallagher, High Flying Birds album. They were the first albums I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into all sorts of music. See, like, everything, every genre I listen to. If it's good, I listen to it. Like.
Yeah.
That's
the best way to be. You can't just listen to like Deep Purple every day.
Nah, you can't, man. You got to expand, you know.
I mean, I know people that do, but
yeah.
So what about the last album that you bought?
The last album, well, I think it was the Old in Absence one. That new one. Yeah, that's really good.
Magic. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the first live gig that you saw?
That would be Status Quo. I was in Cardiff.
Yeah.
CIA. Yeah. The point, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they were a big inspiration on me. Like, me and my buddy Lewis, who used to just play guitar when I was about 11. Started playing guitar. Me and him would just go around in the pubs with two guitars, playing Status Quo songs and all different covers. Just two guitars, like. So they inspired me a lot.
You can't go wrong with Quo. You can't go wrong with Quo.
Nah, they're great.
One of the best live albums I've ever heard is Quo Live from Glasgow Apollo in 1976. Still got it on vinyl.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They're one of the best live bands ever, I think.
Yeah. Okay. What about the best venue you've played at?
Oof. I'd have to say the Bataclan, like with the history it's got and
it's pretty iconic.
And the circumstances, like with Stone Sour, I think I'd have to say that one. Like.
Right. Okay.
But saying that, the Chepstow Castle one was special. Like that was different. It was really cool.
Who did you play there
with Reef.
Right.
So we done a gig with Reef.
Yeah. How do they do it at Chepstow then? Because I've only seen, I saw Quo at Caldecott Castle, but I haven't been to Chepstow. I've been to Chepstow for a beer festival, but not for a gig. So how do they do it?
Yeah. You go over the bridge into the through the gates, and it's just they set up like a stage on the left there, and it rises up to the back, like.
I got you.
Yes. Or some of the lights go down. It's fucking really cool, like.
Yeah. I saw Thunder at Caerphilly Castle a couple of years ago. That was pretty good.
Is there?
We're Welsh. We got plenty of castles to hold gigs. So.
Castles everywhere.
All right. Let me give you a couple of other questions. So, ale or lager?
Lager.
All right.
Look.
I can see that.
Carlsberg.
All right. We might edit that bit out. All right. This is one for the English. Do you like rice, chips, or half and half?
Half and half, fucking hell.
Man. All right. What's advertising Wales? What's the best thing about Wales to someone coming into Wales? What would you say?
The views and the fucking sheep, innit? The sheep fucking walking across the roads, like.
I suppose you could answer that for the next question. What's the best thing about Merthyr?
Nothing.
Sheep as well, is it?
Yeah. Just fucking went outside, but now I can see it, like.
Brilliant.
Right.
All right. Magic Trist. So finally, before we finish, give me a quick plug for the band. Where can people find you? Where's your social medias? Where's all the information?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is at Florence Black UK, and YouTube is Florence Black UK as well. Spotify, just Florence Black. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And on the website, www.florenceblack.uk.
Brilliant. And they're all easy to find because there's only one Florence Black. So. Yeah, although I did find looking at it today, I did find there was like a designer clothes shop on there, which is Florence Black or something. And I thought, oh God.
I know. We'll see how long he lasts.
Magic. Tristan, thank you very much for your time, mate. I shall see you up the mountain in 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, nice one, Paul. Pleasure to speak to you, brother.
Catch you then. Take care, brother.
See you soon, bro. Ta-ra.
Cheers. Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.